Thank you to Cade Silvermoon for their generous donation on Patreon. If you'd like to join them in their generosity, the link to my Patreon page is in the description. Hello everyone, my name is Deckerlink the Trained Young Professional, and welcome back to Extracurricular Activities. I've said that so many times, and it's never enough. It's never enough. So this episode hopefully will go by pretty quickly because I've got a doctor's appointment I didn't know I was gonna have today. So I need to, gave myself a challenge for some ungodly reason to get this done before I need to leave. So here's hoping that happens. So without further ado, let's do this shit. Day 26, Dozer's route. Here we go. Morning arrived and you were in limbo between being asleep and awake. And the dream you were waking up from was one that you didn't want to end. As you became more aware of being awake, you realized what you thought was a dream was actually happening. You woke up to find Dozer had pulled the blankets away and was on his snow match between your legs with his mouth wrapped around your cork. What? Really? Okay, this is some problematic stuff, if you think about it. I'm trying not to think about it because I don't have a lot of time here. Last time it was the joking thing, so I'm just gonna say encourage him. Fuck it. At this point, there we go. Without saying anything, you put your hands on his head and pushed him down as far on into your crotch as you could, grinding your cork all the way into his mouth. His eyes locked with yours, and you could see a grin spread over his face while your hands guided the pace he moved at. You can't consent in your sleep. But, moving along for the sake of not spending a million years trying to debate this shit. It was hard to say how long you had been going at it, but your cork was aching for release. Okay, I guess I gotta skip this because, this is some explicit shit, so BRB. Okay, now they're at the end of it. Sorry, YouTube would have gotten mad at me. You can play it yourself in the link down below. Good morning. Morning. He reached up and ran his hand along your leg, pushing his cheek against your warm self. Did you sleep well? I did. How about you? Like a baby. I passed out with you in my arms and woke up with you still in my arms. Couldn't imagine a better way to sleep. Or a better way to wake up. What led you to this? You must have been dreaming about the fun we had last night. You were hard as a rock, and your boner was poking me. I gave it a few tugs, and all you did was moan in your sleep a bit. I wondered if I could make you come without waking you up, so... As you can see, I failed. Guess you'll have to try again in the future, eh? If you aren't opposed to it, I'll try as many times as I have to. Okay, so that is consent there, but he didn't have it the first time. Be my guest. I suppose that means you enjoyed yourself? That was amazing. Good. I enjoyed myself a lot, too. He rubbed his face against your leg a minute before patting it and sitting up. I'm gonna start the shower, then we'll go get breakfast afterwards. We have a nice, relaxing day ahead of us. Alright, I'll be there in a minute. After he stood, he made sure to give you a deep kiss. Then he left for the bathroom. You waited for a few minutes and then went to join him. As some people in the comments have said, protect us, Lord Strawberry. As soon as you were in the shower with him, he hugged you tight and kissed the side of your head. Hey, good looking. Hey to you too, stud. Let's get you all cleaned up. Last night was something else, wasn't it? Last night and this morning. We made a huge mess, didn't we? How you feeling? Sore at all? I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for being so rough on you. I got really carried away. I won't lie, I'm feeling it. You poor thing. I'm so sorry. It's not too bad, but relaxing today sure does sound like a great idea. He chuckled and massaged your chest with a soapy hand after moving down from your shoulders. How about you? You okay? Yeah, I'm good. You really worked some magic on me, and I feel great. And considering what we did right before the shower, you got a kaiju that's feeling pretty spoiled on your hands today. I'm the one that's feeling spoiled with all I'm getting treated too. I know you can't see the text box, but that's what it says. So, how did it feel being your first time and all? Being on top or bottom? Either of them. Or the blowjob. All those things were firsts. Any of it. Well, I really enjoyed myself a lot. So many new sensations, and they've all been mind-blowing. While you talked, his hands continued to glide around your body with the soap. I felt so good. And you made me feel so good about myself, too. I don't know what to really say about it right now, other than I had such an amazing time, and I'm glad I was able to experience it all with you. That's good enough for me. It really means a lot to me that you trust me so deeply as to let me be your first. He leaned down and put his forehead against yours, slipping his hand around your lower back and to hold you close. I hope you'll continue to let me be the one you share these kinds of experiences with. I wouldn't have it any other way. He held you against him for a few minutes, swaying back and forth in the shower with you, unspeaking. Having him hold you was such a warm and welcome feeling, and it was something you'd never get tired of. A grin spread across his face, and his hands finally slid down to give your butt a squeeze. Now, turn around. I need to clean up the mess I made yesterday. I can clean it myself. It's my mess, so I'll clean it. He rolled your cheeks around and dug his fingers in. I can't help but feel that this is just an excuse to play with my butt. Is it so wrong? I guess not. You get your chance with mine after. Okay, fine. With a growl, he played your butt like a drum and pulled you in for a kiss before letting you go to continue your shower. He was persistent about getting to wash you, and you caved eventually. It was hard to argue with him when his hands felt so good against your body. He was gentle to push you against the wall, and he continued with the job he had already started, circling his hands around your chest more. What do you think of the view from the bathroom window? Just as nice as the one we have from the bedroom, isn't it? I was thinking one of these nights we can share a hot bath together. We'll dim the lights down and enjoy a, hopefully, starry and moonlit sky. I like that idea. We're going to the spa today, so maybe we can do that tomorrow? Sure. We can even order room service so we don't have to go anywhere else during the evening. Sounds perfect to me. Let's do that. There was no hesitation while he talked as he reached down with a lathered hand and carefully fondled your bits to clean them. Muff. He was looking down while he talked, and he carried on like what he was doing was absolutely normal. Scrubbed over your stomash, through your pubes with his other hand. Then we're set for tomorrow evening. We'll do some more tubing or something during the day, maybe another hike, and then we'll relax for the evening. I really want to do more tubing. I had such a blast. I'm happy you enjoyed it so much. I thought it was a ton of fun too. Alright, turn around. He tapped your side and made you spin with your back to him. So you crossed your arms against the wall and leaned into it. Still covered, good. What else did you learn about the spa? Dozer used the soap like a lotion and massaged your shoulders and back, working down your body slowly. I haven't really looked over that pamphlet still. I'll take it with us to breakfast and I'll browse through it while we eat. Ah, okay. I just know they have a variety of hot baths, pools, and saunas for us to visit. We'll go check it out after lunch and spend most of the day there. Or at least stay until you want to do something else. Or until you want to do something else. I'll do whatever you want to, babe. As long as you're enjoying yourself, I'll enjoy myself. He slid his hand between your butt cheeks and vigorously cleaned between them, applying special attention with a fingertip to your back door. He jumped and reached back to swat his hand away before his finger was able to invade you. Okay, I think I'm clean enough back there. Don't worry, I'm just teasing. I'm not gonna do anything more than that. His finger returned to your hole and he pressed against you. Your dick was getting hard again, and part of you wanted to push down on his finger. He swirled the finger around and pushed it harder against you, but you withdrew it before it slipped inside. There we go. He moved a little closer to you, standing up to his full height, and you felt not only his stomach pressing against you, but he made sure his dick was sliding along your crack. His dominant presence could be felt all around, but he just stood there with his hands massaging your shoulders again. Alright, I think you're pretty much set. I'm getting hungry though, so let's make my turn quick and go eat something. Otherwise... He pushed against you and leaned down and dragged his tongue over your neck and he followed it up with a kiss. You'll have to satisfy my hunger. What's that supposed to mean? Take it how you want. Gotta expand Strawberry real quick because he fucking moves back a bit. Now, have at it. Oh, it's cute. If you insist. I want you to. Show me just how much you love this body. He bounced his chest, alternating between his left and right pecs, and you were quick to pour soap on them and get to work. You like how they feel, don't you? I've told you plenty of times before that I do. I love how they feel. When we settle into our room tonight, you're gonna let me have some more fun time with them, right? Oh, is that something you want? You want to worship this body? In that case, we're gonna save it until later. I'll just make this quick and we can go get breakfast. Patted his bicep with a smirk and got to quickly washing his front. The back's all yours, so make it snappy. With pleasure. Man, just look at it out there. It's such a beautiful day. Are you sure you want to spend it all in the spa? Are you saying your body is ready and willing to spend another day going up and down the mountain? My mind is screaming yes, but my body is weeping. Spa it is, then. Just gonna stand there and show it all off to the world, huh? There's nobody out there to see me. There's something about standing here naked on the brink of nature that makes me feel relaxed. I wonder if they have any nude pools out in the snow we can go to. You want to go out there naked? I would if given the chance. I feel my dick shrinking just thinking about it, and thinking about anyone else seeing it. What the hell was that? Sounded like a fucking cannon just went off by my house. My guy would practically turn into a cloaca. Ha ha ha. I'm sure any guys out there in that would be the same though. What? So we'd have nothing to worry about. Anyway, we don't know if that's even a thing. We'll find out soon enough though. Before getting dressed, Dozer picked up his phone and flipped through it. Everything okay? Oh yeah, everything's fine. Hurry up and get dressed unless you want to go get breakfast naked. Not that they'd be looking at me when they have so much of you to look at. So true. Now stop gawking and get dressed. You'll have plenty of time for that later. Fine. Something was not okay. Something was amiss. He had that facial expression while looking at his phone. I'm thinking Harvey sent some, not so nice messages. But I guess we'll find out, huh? Hopefully. Looks like a lot more people are here than there was yesterday. Yeah, we might have to come down earlier tomorrow. Or later. Either or, as long as we get breakfast. If we come later, that just means more time for us to cuddle. Later it is then. We'll just have to find out when breakfast ends, since I forgot to yesterday. While you waited to be seated, Dozer was staring off into space like something was on his mind. You opened your mouth and started to say something to him, but a host arrived to seat you before you could finish the first word. What to eat today? Those pancakes you got yesterday are on the list, so I know what I'm getting. Oh, and it's endless. I can order as many as I want until 10, it looks like. 10? Well, that's plenty of time for us to get down here tomorrow, then. It says until 10, so if you plan on ordering something endless, you should still come at a reasonable time. We'll see how we feel when we wake up. I think I'm gonna have the same thing. Those pancakes were amazing, so I could go for that and maybe a side of bacon. Then a table full of bacon and pancakes is what we should get. I wonder if we can order in table-sized quantities. Just ask our waiter when he comes by. Unfortunately, the most you could order at once was a stack, but you could order as many as you wanted once you ate all that you had. While you waited for the first order to come out, Dozer drummed his fingers on the top of the table and leaned on his fist, looking off toward the window. What's on your mind, Dozer? You've seemed preoccupied since we got dressed. Tell me what it is. You reached across the table and put your hand on top of his. I didn't want to mention anything, because I didn't want to spoil the mood any. I can tell something's bothering you, and it'll just make me worry if you don't tell me. Harvey sent me like 10 texts yesterday. I didn't see any of them until we were getting ready to come to breakfast. He's just lamenting about how I'm ignoring him for you now, and how it's making him feel miserable. I think he's trying to make me feel bad while we're out here trying to have a good time. What the hell is his problem? You can feel your face getting hot, and you squeezed Dozer's hand tight. He placed his other hand on top of yours and shook his head. I've told you, he always tried to make me feel guilty for little things, and I think he wants to put a damper on this trip. I'm just gonna ignore his messages for the rest of the time I'm out here. Or just ignore them for the rest of time. Well, I don't know about that. What he said isn't working, is it? What do you mean? I mean, if he's trying to make you feel bad. Oh. He looked away from you with that response. Do you feel bad? Maybe a little. Why? Because you brought me instead of him? Because you're able to move on and be happy without him? Or are you really just not happy with me? No, that's not it at all, Grant. I love you, and I'm so much happier with you than I ever have been. He just gets in my head still. Then fuck him! Tell him just to leave you alone! If he's supposed to be your friend and he wants to keep you in his life, he shouldn't treat you like that. He should never have treated you like that, ever. You don't deserve to be treated like trash, and he doesn't deserve to have you in his life. You were fuming, and you were only getting angrier. I have the mind to call him right now and tell him to fuck off into the ocean. No! Please don't get involved with it, babe. I feel bad enough making you angry over it. I don't want you two being at each other's throats on top of it. Just let me deal with it, okay? I'm gonna send him a message right now and tell him I'm not putting up with him trying to make me feel bad for having a good time with my boyfriend on vacation. And that I won't be getting back to him until we get back sometime on Sunday. Sorry. He pulled out his phone and went to typing away, and he even showed you the message after he typed it. He didn't send it, though. You could tell he was hesitant while looking at his phone. Send it! Send it, motherfucker! Send it! Send it, Dozer. Stand up for yourself and put him in his place. Oh. That's a complicated one. because we're telling him to stand up for himself. That inherently is a contradiction, because we're telling him to stand up for himself. Standing up for yourself is something you have to do yourself. And if you're being told to do it, you're not doing it. So what do we say if we don't? Don't send the message if you don't want to, Dozer. I'm not gonna force you to. It needs to be said, though. I have to put my foot down at some point. I just keep letting him get away with this stuff, and if I don't stop it now... Okay, so he does send it eventually, but the difference is that he chooses versus us choosing. And if we're going to echo the therapy choice from before, it is better, according to the game at least, that he come to these conclusions as opposed to us telling him what to do. Because think about it, he's telling someone to stop telling him how to feel, and we can't tell him to tell someone else to stop telling him how to feel, because then we are being Harvey. See what I mean? So I'm gonna go with give him the choice to not send it if he doesn't want to. There was another moment of hesitation, but he mashed the send button and powered his phone off right away. I don't need my phone for anything, so I'm just gonna keep it off. No more dealing with Harvey for the rest of this trip. I just want to focus on us. This trip was meant for you and me to relax, and that's what it's gonna be. He took your hands in his and pulled them up to his lips for a light kiss. Sorry to be a damper. I just want you to be happy and enjoy the trip to the fullest with me. The fullest with me. There we go. I want that for the both of us, so let's do it. Yesterday was amazing, so let's make today even better. And speaking of that, I should be looking through this pamphlet to see what we all can expect today. Yeah, gotta plan out what we're gonna do. I think we'll play most of it by ear, but having an idea would be good. Dozer only had a moment to glance through the pamphlet before your food was delivered, but he continued to read through it while his mouth was constantly filled with food. He quickly cleared one plate and ordered another, which gave him time to talk. I could eat these pancakes every day. They're so good. You're right. These are amazing. You should learn how to cook them. Maybe I will. I'd like to have them whenever I want. Same here. So, what are we looking at with the spa? They tout a lot of traditional Asian and European practices with the spa, it seems. You just say Eurasian, I guess. There are separate locker and bath areas for men and women, and it seems the bathhouse is completely nude. If you move to the saunas, they provide you with your own uniforms, and for the pools, you take your own swimsuit. It's a completely nude bathhouse? Yeah, that's why it's separated for men and women. They have showers, heated mineral pools, a cold bath, aqua jets, and massive services offered in the bathhouse. Oh, I said massive services, my fucking idiot. It's a massage services offered in the bathhouse. Outside of that, they have a bar and lounge, a heated pool out in the snow, and then the sauna alley. There's a lot to do, it sounds like, and the pass covers all of that for the entire day. Oh, we have time for it all? I'm sure we'll get to experience most of it. It makes me feel a bit nervous thinking about being naked with a bunch of other guys, though. I know what you mean. It's one thing being in the lockers at the school, but at least we can have privacy in the shower stalls. It doesn't sound like there's any kind of privacy here, though. Yeah. If it makes you too uncomfortable, we can skip it. There's plenty of other stuff that doesn't involve the bath. Seems like it would be so relaxing, but I kind of feel the same way as you. I don't know if I want a bunch of random guys seeing me naked. We'll see how things feel when we get there. Maybe it won't feel so strange once we're there. Maybe not, and if everyone's naked. We have to change in our locker rooms if we're going to the pool or saunas too, anyway. I suppose we'll go get our swimsuits, and leave anything we don't need in the room, and head over that way. Sounds like a plan. Dozer continued to read about the spa while going through 2 more orders of pancakes, and after his hunger had been satisfied, set off. Alright, so what now? I have our passes for the spa. You just follow the hallway right there, scan our cards at the turnstile, and go left for the men's lockers. The first room is to store our shoes, and the next room is for changing. There are attendants to give us towels and uniforms, and answer any questions we might have while we're there too. You all set to do this? Yep, it's time for us to relax. Or at least try to. Follow me then. Here we are. It's empty right now. Maybe there's no one here at the moment. Could be in luck. Welcome, fellas. You were greeted by an attendant in the locker room, and he was completely naked. Endowed attendant. Nice. It doesn't appear to be a sprite for this guy, so I guess we're good. Is this your first time joining us? Yes it is. Can I see your passes? Dozer handed them over, and after looking over them, the attendant passed them back. Looks like your locker's on the 3rd row down. What size uniforms can I get you both? 4X for me. I'll take an extra large. Let me get those for you. He popped into a room behind the counter and was back in a moment. These are for if you plan on going anywhere outside the baths or the pool. You can wear them to the pool lounge, but we ask that you don't go swimming with these on. It looks like you guys have your own swimsuit, so I don't think that'll be an issue. If you need towels, they're stacked right there beside the counter. Do you guys have any questions for me? I have nothing. Same here. Alright, toss your clothes into the lockers then. The baths are right around the powder room, right through the powder room, and the showers are just through the doors leading on to the baths. Enjoy your time while you're here with us, and if you need anything, just ask. Thank you. You noticed it too, huh? It was hanging down to his knees almost. Not what I was expecting to see as soon as we got here. I guess it's their way of trying to make people feel more comfortable. I've been feeling more confident about myself, but seeing that... What do you mean? You look amazing naked. I'm ready to get you out of your clothes. That guy has nothing on you. That does make me feel good to hear. Guess we should strip, huh? I guess so. Part of me wants to keep you dressed so nobody else gets to see just how sexy you are. The feeling's mutual. You followed Dozer to your locker, and once you found it, it was time to undress. If that wasn't a warning, I don't know what it was. Oh, okay. So I just gotta take every frame tentatively. There are more guys around than I realized. Yeah. You ready to do this? Not quite, but we're here, so we don't have much of a choice, do we? Not anymore. I mean, yeah, you could literally just leave. That is a choice, but whatever. The faster we do this, the faster we can be in the water. Let's just do the rest all at once. One shove. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Thanks for the literal countdown there, Don. Boom. There. I guess we just head off to the baths now? Mm-hmm. You look great, by the way. Speak for yourself. Your body is magnificent. You're gonna make everyone else jealous. You think they're all gonna stare at me? It's hard not to, considering how big you are. Oh boy. You walk beside Dozer through the locker room towards the baths, trying your best not to let your eyes wander around too much. Oh, the bathroom's right here. Better go before heading out there. My nerves are kind of getting to me. Just leave me standing around naked by myself, why don't you? You follow Dozer into the restroom. He was standing at a urinal with his fists on his hips and his head pointed up at the ceiling. You stood beside him, and you couldn't help but realize he was just standing there not doing anything. His head tipped to the side, and you saw his eyes looking down at you, and you looked away with a red face. At least you aren't having a difficult time going. What do you mean? I'd rather use a stall, but there are only 2 and they are occupied. I hate the thought of other people watching me pee, so it makes it hard for me to go. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have stood beside you. You were finished, and after a quick shake, he turned to walk off, but he grabbed your arm. Just stay here. At least with you here, nobody else can see me. It might just take me a minute. So you stayed beside him, looking up as well. It only took a moment before he sighed, and it was a little longer until he was finished. Thanks for waiting. You washed your hands and were quick to leave the bathroom and head through the doors leading to the baths. I was iffy about walking into the bathroom with no shoes, but those mats seem pretty clean. Now we get to go shower. If the fucking sprites didn't, I like that they slide in from the side. It looks very nice, but it really fucks up the censorship. I can't, I gotta cut around it so many times. Ooh, it's kinda hazy in here, isn't it? Yeah, nice and steamy. It just means the odds that guys ogling us is lower. The lockers were fairly empty, and I guess it's because everyone else here is already in here. There still isn't that many people. No, there's not. So, let's see. We're supposed to shower first. We can make it quick since we showered this morning. Led you to a more secluded area, and you were quick to find out the showers were made for sitting. These aren't like normal showers. You're supposed to sit and wash. Guys are encouraged to help each other, as it was a common practice in bathhouses. So if you wash my back, I'll wash yours after. Basically a normal shower for us. Basically. The stool Dozer sat on seemed comically small compared to the rest of them, but it supported him just fine. You grabbed a shower hose and were quick to douse him in warm water as he sat about to scrubbing his body with soap for the second time today. Is the water warm enough? It's just fine. With his body thoroughly wet, you pumped a handful of soap into your hand, dumped it on his back, and got to work. Soap feels so cheap. Know what you mean. It's thin, and it doesn't feel like it's even worth using. It's a good thing we're already clean. Yeah. You didn't spend long rubbing the soap on him, and you picked up the shower head once again to spray him down. Picked up his hose and washed away the soap from his chest, and a blast of water sprayed up in your face from under his arm. This made you hold the water over his head, and soon it devolved into the two of you spraying water at each other and flinging soap instead of washing. Now this is just adorable. They're smiling and spraying. This is heavily discouraged in bathhouses. You're not supposed to be playing around in there, but it is still adorable. Look at him smiling and so cute. You forget that I still need to do your back. You started this. The fact that you were naked in a place with other guys slipped away for the time being as you goofed around. It wasn't until you saw another man sit in a stool nearby that you you settled down to behave. Now suppose it's my turn. Have a seat. I'll make it quick. This is a prime example of why I can't stream these games. Because moving the bats all around and all seemingly at random, other than the literal countdown, this would have been a nightmare to try to figure out. You sat with your back to Dozer and he went right to work with the soap. Believe it or not, I'm already feeling a little more comfortable. Yeah? Well, that's good to hear. Then you're feeling relaxed too. You're fine. The choices, you can't really see them, are I'm feeling more relaxed too, and I'm not feeling any better yet. So see, you're feeling good. I'm feeling more relaxed too. This should be a really good experience for us overall then, huh? Should be. He sunk his fingers into your body while working the soap over you, and your body relaxed. I think one reason I'm finding it easier to relax is because I'm here with you. There's no way I'd ever be able to do something like this alone. Oh, for sure. There's no way you'd catch me here alone. With one hand still rubbing you, he started to rinse the soap off of you. You sat up straight and let him wash away the soap from the front and back. Well, I guess it's time to get to the baths. Yep. I noticed that they have temperatures posted above each one. We'll start with the lower one and then move to the hotter one. I think we're supposed to finish it off with the cold one after that. It's up to you to lead the way then. He followed Dozer toward the baths, and there were easily another 20 or so other men, either walking around or soaking in the water. There was a range of different species, ages, and body types from everyone there, and it's like none of them even batted an eye at you or Dozer. Okay, I think this bath is the first one. The first bath had no other occupants, and you stepped down into it with Dozer. The water was bubbling from jets on the floor, and the heat soaked through your body quickly as you slipped down into the water. Ooh. Man, this feels amazing. Yeah. I wish we had access to something like this back home. I think there's a hot tub with the swimming pools. There is, but it's nothing like this. And I'm sure it'd be looked down on if we were naked in it. For sure. You leaned back against the wall of the tub, and Dozer did the same, putting one arm around your shoulder and his tail around your waist. We'll soak here for like 10 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next one. There looks to be baths that have different types of massage jets in them too, so we'll have to try them all out. I was expecting only a few baths, but there's way more to do than I thought. We even have another wet and dry sauna over there. Not sure if you'll want to go in there or not. We'll see. For now, I'm content where I am. Same here. Time passed, and Dozer dragged you from one bath to another, the temperature only rising by a couple of degrees between them. The second bath you moved to had a couple of guys already in it. They just nodded and smiled, continued with their conversation as you and Dozer dipped into the water. Dozer pulled you close to his side once again, and after a moment, one of the men sitting nearby turned his attention to Dozer.
Dude, I gotta say, you're jacked.
Oh, thanks.
Do you live in a gym or something?
I don't. Part of it's genetics, but I do spend a lot of time going to the gym too.
Crazy. Your muscles are huge. I only dream of being that big.
Thank you.
What kind of regimen do you follow at the gym? I've been working at it, but I feel like I'm not seeing any gains.
Well, Dozer spent the time in the second bath explaining what kind of routines he went through at the gym and how long he had been at it. It wasn't the most thrilling conversation, but the other two men listened intently, oohing and awing whenever Dozer mentioned the weight or number of reps he would use. At one point, he even lifted his arm up and flexed it to put extra emphasis on what can be achieved with dedication and hard work.
Fucking hell, it's bigger than my head. Can I feel it?
Oh, I got a text. Well, no, I don't. It's spam. He glanced down at you and waited for a reply. Fuck it, I don't give a shit. Sure. Nodded your head. Yeah, sure. I have the fruit bats. I can take the fruit bats down. Yes, this isn't live, so I don't have to be like ready for it at a moment's notice. I can just edit around it. Shit. He kept his arm up, bicep fully flexed, and the other guys patted it and squeezed the bulging muscle. While they rubbed his arm, his tail wrapped tighter around you.
Damn, dude, that's impressive. You've inspired me. It's making me want to go to the gym right now. I think they have one in the lodge, so I'll have to find it and spend some time there.
Awesome to hear. They talked a little longer. It was time for you and Dozer to move on to an even hotter bath. He shared a quick farewell to the other men, and you followed him out of the water.
His arms aren't the only thing that's big.
You heard it, and you didn't think Dozer did. You saw that they were both unabashedly eyeballing him as you moved to the next tub. You couldn't help but look either. It was easy for you to tell Dozer had an erection at some point, as his meat was thicker than usual, despite still hanging limp. Once you were in the water again, Dozer leaned against you inside. Well, that was nice. not often that strangers compliment me. They normally just stare and make things weird. I hope letting them feel my arm didn't make you uncomfortable. Nah, not really. At least they asked, and even looked at me for approval. Unlike that one guy at the gym. Yeah, I hate to get kicked out of here over something like that. Though I don't think you heard them, but... As you climbed out of the bath, one guy said something about your arms not being the only thing that's big. Dots. Pretty sure they were looking at your dick. Said it looked like you were kind of hard. I did get kind of hard. I didn't think it was still like that when I got out of the water. Oh, man. They seemed impressed by what they saw. Dozer slipped further into the water, leaving only everything from his nose and up out of the water. Your balls are hanging a little lower than normal too, you know. He covered his face with his hands and he shook his head around. You're always looking huge, Dozer. Everything about you is huge. I love it. He remained mostly submerged for a few minutes, and he sat up normally again against you again. I suppose it can't be helped. Nope, not here it can't be. You always turn in heads with your size. It's only natural someone would be looking down. I wouldn't have expected them to say something. I don't think he meant for me to hear it. Definitely not. You rested your hand against his inner thigh and leaned your head into his chest. So I guess after we're done in this bath, we'll dunk ourselves into the cold one. After the cold one, back into a hot one with the spa jets. Cold one sounds like a terrible idea. The cold bath will help promote circulation, skin health, immunity, and a variety of other things. It's good for your body, so you have to get in it at least once. The idea sounds horrible. Oh, come on, it won't be that bad. As soon as we're done in there, we'll jump back into the hot one. I'll even help keep you warm in the cold bath. He said that, and he pulled you over his leg and into his lap, sliding his arms around your middle. I'll hold you nice and close so you can feel that dragon fire radiating through you. I guess that could help. You just have to be in the water first, so I can just run to you. That'll work. I could just carry you into the water, even. You were rotated around in his lap, and he cradled you in his arms against his meaty body. Again, this is also heavily discouraged in a bathhouse. You're all there to relax, not to fuck. As much as I would like that, I don't think it's appropriate here. I suppose not. It would keep the other guys from being able to look at your sexy self, though. He wrapped you up more in his arms and kissed your head. I think I'll be okay as long as I'm with you. Okay. With the water being as hot as it was, it only took a few minutes before you felt like you were starting to overheat. I need to get out of this bath already. I think I'm about to start boiling. It is pretty intense. Guess that means it's time to dunk ourselves in the cold water. Oh boy. I'll go in first, then you can jump into my arms. The water even looks cold. You dipped your toe into the water and yanked your foot back right away. It's like ice! With how hot our bodies are right now, I bet it'll feel great. No sense standing here and dreading it. I go to the pool for exercise, and yeah, getting into it is always the worst part. Once you're in it, it's actually pretty good. Dozer was quick to step into the water and submerge most of himself in it. His eyes went wide, and you saw a very visible shudder shake through him. Yeah, it's so cold. That's not very comforting. The longer you stand there and complain, the more heat you're gonna lose. Come on. Spread his arms wide and beckoned for you to come to him. He took a deep breath and stepped down into the water. Unfortunately, there wasn't a step where you were aiming. Oh! You were too committed to the step to catch yourself, so you went tumbling forward into the water. I guess we can, with the fruit bats on and off all day. The icy water washed over you and you were left gasping as Dozer grabbed you and helped you to stand. Jeez, you okay? You gotta be careful, babe.
It's so cold.
Hey, you didn't hurt yourself when you fell in, did you?
No, I'm fine. Just cold.
Pulled your chest to his and he rubbed his hands up and down your back. Let me help warm you up a little then. We'll only be in here for a couple of minutes.
Minutes? Why would anyone do this willingly?
It has a lot of health benefits, so you should take cold showers regularly.
Do you take cold showers?
Sometimes. You get used to it eventually. I don't think I could ever get used to it. Dozer never took his hands off you while you were in the cold water, and the few minutes you were in there seemed to last forever. Okay, I think that's long enough. Let's get to the warm water. We'll go to one with jets and see how those feel. You were quick to climb out of the water, and Dozer was right behind you. You nearly sprinted to the closest bath with hot water, and you sunk into the water as soon as you stepped down into it. Better? My whole body is tingling. It's weird stepping into the hot water after coming from the cold one, isn't it?
Very.
Dozer dropped down into the water with you with a content sigh, and the fruit bats go away again. Good lord, y'all are pulling double duty today. I figure we can spend another hour or so in here, and then we'll move on to something else. They have places that serve lunch where all the saunas are, so we'll get lunch and explore the saunas before checking out the pools. Sounds like a good idea to me. For now, I'm gonna sit on one of those chairs in the water. They have some of those massage jets, and I want to see how they feel on my body. There are a few places to sit, so I'll join you. There were places to sit built into the walls in the water around the bath, and each spot had a series of jets that would blast water against specific parts of your body with the push of a button. You sat next to Dozer, and you activated your jets once you were comfortable. Force of the water surprised you, but it felt good. Oh, man, that water gets in there deep. It feels amazing. I might be here for a little while. As long as you need. This really hits a spot. As soon as the jet stopped spraying, Dozer hit the button again. He leaned back and let his head fall back with his eyes closed, and he looked completely relaxed where he was. You were content sitting beside him, his hands clasped around yours, just enjoying the time relaxing. For a little while, you forgot you were naked with him and the other guys that were in the bath. It wasn't until Dozer wanted to change baths again that you were reminded. The more time that passed, the more comfortable both of you seemed to become. Dozer was so comfortable while you were sitting alone in one of the smaller baths, he pulled you into his lap once again. Only you'd been sitting in front of him, and he pulled you by your legs, so you were in his lap, facing him with your legs spread around his stomach. Oh, hi. Hey. His hands were against your butt, keeping you pulled forward against himself. You know, getting to be like this with you in public places, kinda hot. Nobody seems to care if we get close to each other, and the fact that we're all naked turns me on a little. He made sure you could feel his boner bob in the water against the crack of your ass. Don't fuck underwater. You can get infections that way. I know it might seem sexy and all, but you gotta be careful about that shit. Dozer. What? I can't help it. Now that I'm feeling so much more relaxed, my mind keeps wandering. Yeah, even in a public bathhouse, like a public nude bathhouse, indecent exposure is still a thing. I'm not gonna do anything, but I really wanted to feel you against me like this. Not to mention I can feel your boner rubbing me against me now. we really shouldn't be sitting like this. I don't want anyone to stare at us. You're right. He released you, and after you spun around, he just pulled you back down into his lap, pressing his hard dick against your lower back instead. We'll just sit here for a little while longer, then we'll go see about getting some lunch. Sound good, do you? Yeah, I'm getting hungry again. His hands pushed along your thighs, and you tensed up when his fingers brushed against your dick. You're just hell-bent on teasing me right now, aren't you? Should I stop? I mean, nah, I guess not. You don't have to. Oh, that means you're enjoying it too. The movement of his hands was subtle, so anyone watching wouldn't be able to see his fingers caressing your meat or fondling your balls under a bubbling water. It wasn't long before he wrapped his hand completely around your dick and made slow strokes up and down it. This episode is not getting monetized. Better keep a straight look on your face or someone's gonna suspect something. I'm trying. You struggled to hold still and to not show any indication that Dozer was steadily masturbating you. I wonder if I can make you come. It wouldn't be the first time today. Do you really plan on trying though? I've gone this far already, so why should I stop? Maybe out of consideration for the other motherfuckers that are going to be using this bath. Like, seriously. Jesus. Continued his pace, and you could feel him bouncing his hard dick against you all the while. Why am I still reading this? YouTube's going to get pissed. Wow. Jesus Christ. That's funny. Okay, so I don't know how much of the initial part of that description was kept in, because I started reading and I didn't even... every once in a while they'll make, like, a couple moments, like, a couple of descriptions, and I'll be whatever, but, like, I didn't realize they were gonna keep fucking going with it, so, yeah, they got off. They got each other off, and that is incredibly, if I may say, as someone who frequents a pool, is incredibly inconsiderate. I don't want to be swimming in someone else's spunk. The towels they provided are tiny. I had to get 2 of them for myself. Yeah. And the attendant actually offered to help dry your back. It was a bold move of him. I was taken aback, but that's what I have you for. That's right. After I'm dry, I'll make sure you're all dry too. You dried off quickly and helped make sure Dozer was completely dry after. Can't get all your back with these towels, huh? Not at all. It's like if you were trying to dry off with a hand towel. It's just not gonna work. Well, you're all dry now, looks like. Let's go get some lunch. After you put on some clothes. Oh, yeah. You forget that you're naked? Kinda. I guess I've gotten a little used to it. Same here. There we go. Wow, look at you. Oh, yeah. There. It's the uniforms that are provided for them. I forgot about that. Actually, since they should be relatively out of the nude pool, let's go ahead and move the fruit bats to their homes for now. What was I thinking? Thinking I could get through an episode of extracurricular activities before I need to go to the fucking appointment. Good lord. Believe it or not, but I feel a little more confident even. The guys around here have helped me make me feel good about myself. It's not to say you don't make me feel good too, it's just a little different, you know. I understand what you mean. I'm glad it's had such a positive impact on you. Maybe I won't feel so awkward in the school locker room anymore. Maybe not. So, it looks like the saunas are that way. Let's go check it out. A hallway connected to the locker room led you to a staircase that spiraled down. 162 floors? Or, I don't know what the hell that means. Ooh, this is interesting. Each one of these rooms must be different. Oh, there's saunas. Okay. I'm an idiot. What's the fucking surprise there? Each one of these rooms must be different saunas. You followed Dozer to the closest room, and there was a sign posted on the outside. Yeah, this one says it's a charcoal sauna. It's like charcoal can absorb some toxic stuff from our bodies, and the heat should help with tension and stiffness. From what I read about this area, each sauna has its own perks, and there's a lot for us to look at while we're in there. Food first, though. Food first, huh? Food first. Tons of water, too. You had a couple choices of food near where you entered the room, and after deciding on something, you ordered and found a place to sit. There's a lot to take in down here. So quiet, and there are all these different places for people to relax. Isn't it peaceful? Very. I'm really feeling it right now. I just want to laze around and not do anything. It's not like we're in a hurry, so we can always do that after lunch. I wouldn't mind that. Might just then. I think there's a nap room or something on this floor. I just don't want you to be bored or anything. Don't worry about that. I'm really liking how relaxing this is, so I'm enjoying myself. Though, you've really surprised me. How so? I never thought you would be such a horny monster. And you'd still throw me off with how you and you still throw me off with how you behave sometimes. I'm sorry. Did I go too far this time? Nah. I would have stopped you if I wasn't into it myself. It was just a huge shock that you were willing to go that far with other people around. The risk of getting caught in public is one of those weird kinks of mine. The fact that you went along with it until the end was so damn hot, too. I was so turned on, I probably would have came just rubbing against you had I not jerked off. You grabbed your hands and squeezed them tightly. I know this may sound weird, but I'm really glad to have someone I can share my kinks with. And I'm glad that someone is you. I'm happy I can be a part of them, too. It just makes me feel that much closer to you. Good. I really try to hold back these urges sometimes, but I think my body produces a ton of testosterone. It has a huge impact on my sex drive. That makes sense. I don't want you getting all pent up either, so I'll do what I can to keep you from getting there. Anytime, anywhere, I'm ready for it. Your food was delivered quickly, and it was devoured soon after. Well, that was satisfying, and now I'm really feeling drowsy. Me too. You want to find that nap room? Yeah. If I had to guess, it's the room opposite the food. The wall is just a bunch of windows, and it looks like there are people resting in there. Now let's check it out then. Sure enough, he was right. The room had dim lighting, and there were mats all along the floor for people to sleep on. There was no sound beyond quiet whispers and a gentle white noise playing from somewhere. Dozer chose a spot for you two, and you sat with them on one of the mats. It's so quiet. Very. Let's take a quick nap, and then we'll check out the saunas. You nodded and lay on your side. Dozer followed, but he had you face away from him, and he curled his body up against yours. Comfy. Just nudge me awake if I'm out for too long. He pushed his lips to the back of your neck and his forehead to your head. I love you. I love you. The room was so peaceful and you were so relaxed. You fell asleep within minutes of closing your eyes. And with that, I gotta take a break here real quick. I don't know how much of the day is left, but if I know anything about this game, it's probably a good amount. So I'm going to come back to this after my doctor's appointment. And if this episode continues after this point, of course, it's already been a fucking hour and 10 minutes of a recording. So I don't fucking know how this is going to get chopped up, but I got to go to the doctor's appointment. So if there's like 5 minutes left of this day, I'll deal with it when I get back. I'm going to try to record when I get back. But in case this is the end of an episode, thank you all very much for watching this episode of Extracurricular Activities. If you could let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. Please do so if you want to play this game yourself. The link to that is in the description down below, along with links to all my social medias and various ways to support me if you would so like. Patreon, merch store, YouTube membership, stuff like that. But, as always, until next time, I have been the trained unprofessional, and you are not. Bye, everyone!